I think it should be live already. Yes, it's live.
Could you remove the bar on the bottom, Chris?
Right. Hi everyone. Welcome to Deep Learning Datathon 2020. So we are now live on YouTube. It's great to see you all on Monday, right? So just admin questions, informations. For the Q&A link, can you scan the pigeonhole on the pigeonhole link QR code on the bottom left? This is where you will be able to ask some questions, and also like let other people to vote your question as well, to just indicate that your questions are important. So very excited to see all of you from all over the world. And yeah, my name is Christian from AI for Impact. I will be the host for today. Joining me will be my team from AI for Impact and also our deep tech partner from SG Innovate. So yeah, look, if you have any questions, just post it like on the Q&A link at Pigeonhole. I think I see some questions already on YouTube. Okay, a lot of hi from one from Portugal, from Decathlon, from yeah, a lot of people. So let's start now. Okay, so okay, before that, right? Maybe I'll just brief you like what the session is all about. For the first 15 minutes, I will briefly share about the deep learning datathon, and then afterwards, like 10:15 to 10 minutes, 10:25 will be SG Innovate, our deep tech partner, who will share about their opportunities, talent opportunities to all of you, and then that will follow with Arnold, who will be speaking about the problem set itself. Then I'll open up the floor to Q&A at 10 at the end of the session itself, around 10:40. So let's start now. If you have any question along the way, please post it on the pigeonhole so we can actually monitor your question as well and answer it appropriately. So let's start. About us, right? So what about this datathon, and what about AI for Impact? So we do have a humble beginning in 2017, and this is three of us with the AI rig, actually, mining rig that we convert into an AI powerhouse, AI server. So we ourselves are from we are AI practitioners. We do use AI to forecast weather in the middle of the sea, just to make sure that we can actually help people operate safely in the during their oil and gas operations, right? And when this this moment inspire us, actually, we question ourselves, what if we can use the same technology to help everyone beyond what we do as a weather forecasters, right? And number two, we also do realize that when we try to teach people, when we try to set up our own AI servers as well, the current technologies, I think, are not so much accessible to people outside programming background, right? So our motto has been to make AI accessible to everyone. We start with three of us, and our community actually grows over time. We over For the past 3 years, we've trained over 1,500 students, and we just act as an enabler right now. We provide training materials, we provide the learning resources, and we also provide some platform to make non-programmers able to develop AI applications. But they are the one who run the show at the end. The students, the researchers, the people that we teach, in the end, are able to actually solve their own local problems using AI. So for the past 3 years, we work with a lots of communities, grassroots leaders, student clubs in the universities, right? to see like to explore how AI can be solved to solve pressing issues. So one of them is dengue, because before COVID, dengue actually one of the deadliest outbreaks happening all over the world. How can we use AI to forecast dengue? How can we use AI to save energy as well, to optimize energy consumptions in our buildings, right? Where your air cons actually consume a lot of energy and then it creates some kind of pollutions. How can you use AI to predict failure in solar panels to make sure that we can go forward in renewable energies? How can we use AI to forecast typhoon? So this is what we've been doing for the past 3 years. And I'm happy to introduce my colleague as well, Samuel and Arnold. Samuel, Arnold, are you there?
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah.
Hi,
Yeah.
everyone.
So Sam and Arnold is the tech team of AI for Impact, and we are the one who will be with you, right? Will be to mentor you as well along the journey to apply AI to solve real world problems. In this case, is in finance, right? All right. So that's about us. Oh yeah, I think how we work is that we work with local communities as well, right? We work with student clubs, we work with universities, we work with community leaders in their respective countries. So if you are here, if you are there to you want to apply AI for social impacts, right? Please contact us because we are happy to work with you as well to see how we can expand our programs, right? Our datathons in your own countries. So a little bit about your datathon journey, right? So there are 4 stages as mentioned in the on the website. So you are now at the learning stage. What you will get is that during the learning stage, you will learn a lot of concepts about deep learning, neural networks specifically for forecasting, right? So during that time, there will be training videos. We also like give you a Telegram group link because this is where we can mentor you virtually, right? Wherever you are, and answer your questions as well along the way. So we expect you to be proactive, and we also expect you to ask questions as well. Don't learn about this about neural network alone, because I think it's better to learn in groups. We also share with you also our platform as well for learning. It's called AutoCAF. That's based on the Cafe framework. And also, if you have any questions about technical question, you can post it on the forum link. So Datathon is about learning and competitions. So this is where during the learning stage, we make sure that those of you, right, 80% of you with no programming background are able to actually learn the AI concepts. Because what we do in the end is that we want to make sure that these concepts, right, you learn something that is transferable to any tools that any available tools and any available jobs that's available right now. So we will focus on the learning concepts. So if you guys are comfortable with your own tools, with your own platform, feel free to apply it in your own tools as well. Your task by 5th of July is for you to create a 5-minute presentation about the assignments that we provide on the during the learning stage. This is not going to be part of your overall grading evaluation. So this is for us to assess how well you have been learning, and to assess also like your understanding about the neural network concepts. Because when we see your result, this is where we know which missing points, key points that you have that has not been fully understood yet. So after the learning phase, there will be a building phase as well. This is where the part where we release the challenge statement and also the data sets. So for those of you who have completed the 5-minute presentations about the assignments, we will actually share with you the advanced videos as well that talks a bit in depth on how a neural network works, and also some more advanced techniques that can be applied to improve your forecast, right? And this is where we open up the challenge statement and data sets. Arnold will actually brief you a bit more about the challenge the problem statement as well. It will be in energy trading. So we'll let you know later on. And by 17th of July, your task is to submit a 5-minute presentation video as well about your finance models and your approaches as well. And at the same time, you need to publish your model result URL for impact, so that we can actually extract your forecast value. That will be explained later on. Don't worry about it. So during the impact stage, right, this is where we take your models and we will compare it against the real world data. So we will have during the impact stage, we will actually take your forecast outputs and compare it against the actual data that's happening between 20th to 29th July. So you will be forecasting actual value based on real life data sets happening during the impact stage. And then the top 10 teams who are able to generate highest profits based on that, right? Based on their output results, will be able to proceed into the finale, where where we invite expert judges from the industries, right, to evaluate further on your results. In the event of ties in profits, we will evaluate your own evaluations, your robustness of your solutions, and select the teams to go forward. The top teams during the finale stage, this is where, so let me just explain. From learn to impact, all of the submissions, all the learning can be done on self-paced learning, right? So you can learn at your own pace, you can submit the video, you can submit your result at your own pace as well, given a deadline. During the finale is the time where the only time where you have to present live to expert judges as well, virtually using Zoom. And this is where the exciting part, the top 10 teams will stand a chance to become a deep learning Datathon 2020 champions. And the goal of this entire journey is that for you to get exposed to how you build a real world forecasting model in real world situation as well. So yeah, you will learn a lot. Please, make sure that you also receive our updates as well on email. So for those of you who have not filled in the Google form, please do so by today, so we can actually get in touch with you as well. You will get certificates for those of you who completed the challenge, which means that you submitted the model URL, and those of you who also the winners, right, will get different certificates: certificate of winning and certificate of completion. So you will learn a lot, basically. And this is we want you to get exposed to the end-to-end process of building deep learning models. So please make sure that all of you are able to follow the lectures. A lot of concepts. So we break down these concepts into 8 different videos, and each video will be very packed, very technical focus. So feel free to ask if you have any question, please ask immediately on the Telegram channel and the forum. We will share the link and the forum together with the videos after these sessions. So you can actually you can follow our email, and then please also stand by to receive more information from us. A lot to learn and a lot to practice. So the play of the game is that the more you learn the concept, the more you learn the new techniques, and the more you experiment it, right, the more you are able to win. The higher likely for you to win. So 2 very important statement. First one, join Telegram group, because this is where we are able to interact with you directly. This is where our experts are not Sam and our team as well able to answer your questions, and complete the assignments given on the each lab. Yeah. So how to win? So this is based on statistics that we gathered based on training 1,500 students. First, you have to watch all the training videos, not just once, not just twice, but more, because the training videos are very packed with a lot of contents, and some concepts you will actually understand it, like, as you are watching it, more and more. Complete all the exercises in lab instructions. So we have carefully crafted the exercises to be able to, for you to test your understanding on each concepts. Ask question on Telegram and Google Forum, which I will share with you later on through email. And learn and work in the group. So if you are not yet form a group, please do so. And for those of you who are looking for group members, I will facilitate matchmaking group on Telegram, which I will share with you at after this session. Good luck. Any questions for us? Please email ai4impact@gmail.com. I think you also have you have this email address. So please ask if you have any questions, so we can address your issue like immediately. So I'll pass the time to our partner, deep tech partner, SG Innovate. So just to give you a background, SG Innovate has been working with us since 2 years ago for various datatons, and SG Innovate has been the one of the most active deep tech ecosystems in Singapore. I would say in Southeast Asia when it comes to grooming a lot of startups. They have lots of startup portfolio, and Shankar, which is a friend of mine as well, who have been working with us for our past datathon, will share a bit more about what do they have, what talent opportunities do they have as well, and how can you as a aspiring deep tech practitioners, right, able to actually groom your portfolio so that you can explore these industries in more details. So I'll pass the time to SK. Let me just disable my screen share. If you have any questions for SG Innovate, please feel free to post it on the pigeonhole as well. We'll be here to answer your questions at the end of the presentations.
Hello, good morning. Can you hear me? Great, looks like it's working. Right, first of all, I must say, well, it's really exciting to hear that almost 400 of you registered for the Datathon event, and more than 200 of you are watching it live right now with us. Good morning to those that are based in Singapore, and good evening to those who are like overseas right now. Well, and to those who registered for this Datathon event, I must say, well done, because some of you may win the Datathon challenge like 1 month later. Some of you may not win anything, but ultimately all of you are actually the winners here because you're going to be a part of a great learning experience. In the next couple of weeks, I guess some of you may meet some like-minded people. You will also pick up a lot of new skills in deep learning or in AI, and you will be able to solve some real-world challenges. And if after 1 month later, you still love data and you want to apply your skills in solving some really interesting deep tech problems, please come and talk to us, because I guess we can take you to the next level. So who are we as Innovate? We are actually a deep tech venture capital firm that invests in early stage startup companies. Unlike other typical venture capital firms, we actually play a part in terms of growing the deep tech ecosystem in Singapore as well. So this is what we do in the deep tech ecosystem. We do venture investing, which means investing in slightly more established startup companies from Series A onwards. We do venture building. That means we help very early stage startup companies, sometimes could be just a team of 2 co-founders, to grow and scale their company. And we have opportunities to provide to talents like yourself to be part of the ecosystem. Lastly, we also organize a lot of the deep tech community events for like-minded people to meet each other and exchange ideas. That is our role in the ecosystem. Just like many of you, while you're here in the Datathon, this is what we do as well at SG Innovate. We actually help entrepreneurial scientists to build great companies to solve some real-world problems. And if you think this is exciting and you want to be part of this, how you can be part of this? We'll share a bit more later. For us, we have invested in over 100 different startup companies. They are some of them in AI, some of them in like medtech, healthcare. Some of these are like robotics and autonomous systems. Recently, we also invested in some quantum computing companies and other things such as like blockchain energy as well. This is just really a glance of some of the sample portfolio companies here. And how you can be part of this very exciting and cutting edge ecosystem, right? Joining me later will be Charmaine. Two of us will be sharing a bit more about some of the relevant opportunities for you to consider. For us, we are from the talent networking team. We do have summation program and also Infinite series that offer you a chance to work with a deep tech startup company for 3 to 6 months. Besides that, we also run some of the relevant training workshops in AI, in blockchain, in cybersecurity. That could be something you might want to pick up as well. Lastly, we also help you with some of the full-time opportunities if you're looking with opportunities in, let's say, being a future data scientist or being an AI engineer or even full-stack developers, things like that. Okay, let's go into a little deeper. What is the summation program? Like I mentioned earlier, summation is actually a 3 to 6 months long apprenticeship program in early stage deep tech startups. For students who join us on this summation program, you get to work on really exciting deep tech projects. I'll show you in a bit in AI, robotics, blockchain, and you get to get attractive award starting from 3,000 Sing dollars a month for undergraduate students and up to 6,000 a month for PhD students. And most importantly, you also get to be guided by experienced professionals and mentors. We have run this summation program since 2017, and for now, we have done it for 5 runs. The upcoming run, we are looking at a lot more exciting projects, and also we welcome your applications later. Then who are the ones that should join us? Technically, it's you. It's whoever interested in AI should consider joining the submission program, whether you are local or you're overseas, you're undergrad or PhD level. Ideally, you should come with some technical background in programming, in some of the deep tech knowledge. And well, those who are here today definitely qualify because you do have some technical experience now, like your interest in Datathon, Hackathon, or some of the courses. Just to give you some ideas, what will be some of the interesting projects that you get to do. For example, we have been talking about Instagram, how Instagram is a marketing platform. But exactly how do we use the Instagram post data to actually discover and track social media influencers? This project by Affable actually analyze the social media posts and do inference to analyze the followers and identify micro influencers to do better marketing for the brands. If you think you want to do something really meaningful that can save lives, Echo AI do have a project in deep learning. What they do is deep learning on echocardiograms, which help cardiologists to analyze the ECG better, which typically takes cardiologists maybe half an hour to analyze the ECG. But with their deep learning model, they can actually analyze an ECG in less than 5 minutes. Imagine how much lives the technologies can actually save. Now I'll pass on to Charmaine, who will share with you a bit more on the Infinity series.
Hi everyone, Charmaine from SG Innovate. So I'm going to share with you more about the Infinity series. Similar to the summation program, the Infinity series is a deep tech immersion program for students who are looking for exposure in the deep tech space. But how it's different is we focus specifically more on vital tech roles. And what your experience is, working very closely with the core tech teams in the startups, understanding the ins and outs of the product, and working on the platform development. So the kinds of roles that you will that are applicable to this Infinity series, they are software engineer kind of roles, product management type of roles like UX and UI designers, as well as data analyst kind of roles. You will receive an attractive salary as well, starting from $1,500 a month, depending on your level. So undergrads, master's students, all the way to PhDs, it ranges up to $3,000 a month. But I think what's more important and what's more significant to a lot of us would be, whether who you'll be working with, right? So you'll be guided by experienced professionals, specifically the technical leads, and in some cases, even the CTOs of these startups. So you can imagine working with the brains of the companies, really understanding the rationale and the background of why this business was started, what's the importance of specific features in the product, and what are their plans moving forward. So who is the Infinity series open to? SK, if you can click to the next. Yeah, so we are looking for, let's see, the Infinity series is open to all Singaporeans and PR students. It's also open to foreign students from Singapore-based universities from undergraduate level all the way to PhD levels. And similar to Summation, we're looking for people with technical skills and project experiences. So technical skills would be, experience in programming languages or deep tech knowledge that our startups are looking for example, in blockchain or in AI, etc. Technical project experiences will include internships, hackathons, even independent side projects and additional courses that students have taken on. So I'll go on to the next slide. So these are some of the sample projects that will be included. The first one is Right Hand Cyber. It's in the cybersecurity space where they're looking for a software platform development intern to help them to build a cybersecurity platform that helps businesses to monitor and measure employee-induced cyber risk in real time. So how they do it is by training and gamification of their employees so that they can influence and develop long-lasting behaviors. On the right, we have podcasts, which is in the supply chain sector. They are building predictive supply chain technology that helps companies optimize costs in logistics and freight management. So as you know, logistics has always traditionally been very manual. They use a lot of Excel sheets to track everything, but I think that has to go moving forward, and that's what podcast is doing. Finally, we have Tiger. It's a company that helps organizations optimize operational efficiencies by automating complex cognitive tasks. And how they do it is through natural language processing and using computer vision as well. So these are some examples of projects that will be on the Infinity series. So I'll go on to the next slide. So this is the overall timeline for Summation and Infinity. Right now, we are still in stage 1 where companies are confirming their projects and roles with us. Once that is done, applications for candidates will be open in August, specifically 11 August. Then we proceed on with the interview process. So, resume screening, assessments. There may be some coding assessments that candidates will have to take. Interviews with the startups, and then finally, you'll receive your results of the offers by October this year. Internships and the apprenticeships for the Summation program will start anytime from October onwards, depending on the availabilities also. So if you're interested to sign up, there is a QR code at the bottom right-hand corner of the slide. This will lead you to our website where you can find more information on both programs. Please do take note that if you're interested to apply, it will have to go through a STARS platform, which is something like our tracking system. So just go through the website using the QR code, and then it will lead you to that platform for application then. All right, SK, over to you.
Thank you so much, Charmaine. Right, in case you are wondering, you may not be ready yet for joining all these like attachment programs with us. Well, you can still pick up more new skills through our training programs as well. Upcoming, we have a number of training programs that you may find it interesting for you. One is on the Deep Learning Developer Series. The next one is actually from August onwards. There is actually a series of 5 modules, starting from the Deep Learning Jumpstart workshop, all the way until how to build a real-world AI applications using the techniques that you learn as well. More you can find on our website. This training series is actually run by Dr. Martin Andrews and also Sam Vitamin, who are the Google developers. They do have really great industrial experience to share with you. Then the next one, we also have training programs in cybersecurity. For this, the next workshop is also happening in August. 18 to 20th August as well. It's a 3-day workshop. Through these 3 days workshop, you get to learn a lot of the principles and engineering of the cybersecurity solutions. You will, even without any background, you get to learn the basic overview of cybersecurity ecosystem all the way to how can you apply those solutions for security purposes. Well, so that is almost the end of our presentation here. Just to show you some of the links, like some of the photos we still have while we have physical events last time. We host a lot of community events throughout the whole year. In fact, it's almost every week we have at least 2 to 3 events. During this period of time, you can still join us online. So feel free to check out our website and find out more information about our training and also about our community events. Here is also how you can reach out to us. If you have any questions regarding training, summation, Infinity, or even full-time opportunities, feel free to send us an email, and we are also on Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. All right, thank you so much. Back to Christian and Arnold. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, like SK and also Charmaine for the presentations. So I think it's great for you guys like who wants to learn AI to get exposed to industry experience, right? So I think what we do is that we also work with. I mean, SG Innovate has been supporting us to provide the next after Datathon, right? Once you learn the deep learning techniques and so solve problems, as Innovate is our partner when it comes to offering the opportunities to all our participants, right? To invite them to join their internship programs. Internship is very important because this is like the next step for you to get exposed to more real world projects under under companies. So yeah, we are grateful for SG Innovate support, and you can actually get in touch with them afterwards. So okay, thanks SK and Chamin. So let me just continue on the next session. So next session, Arnold will be speaking more about the problem sets, and just to give some kind of background on the challenge itself and what techniques do you have to learn, right, to be able to forecast this the commodity the commodity in the future, because this is deep learning for forecasting, neural network for forecasting. It's very interesting topic, and Arnold will explain a bit more about the challenge and what you need to learn and how you can best learn as well. Arnold, please.
Okay, thanks, Chris. So for the next 5 days, you guys will be working on the basic parts of neural network training as well, and actually applying neural networks for forecasting. I think on Saturday, you are expected to hand in some kind of homework for us to actually grade, and we will look through all your submissions and give you some comments, right? In the subsequent week, I think 2 weeks, is that right, Chris?
Yeah.
From the 5th to the 19th, right?
Yes.
That's when you actually work on the big project, which is the challenge question. And not just that, we will also release additional videos which have got more advanced techniques, okay? So you can actually apply these techniques to your problem set, or you can learn and do whatever you want with them. So the challenge itself is all about energy trading. So we want to focus this year really on sustainable energy and sustainable sources for energy. So one of the big things that is happening around the world is really wind energy. You can see it all across the world, especially like in China, in Europe, in some parts of North Africa, where there's a lot of wind. And of course, winds, they go up and they go down, right? I mean, it doesn't blow strongly all the time. So wind energy is very much dependent on the wind itself. So when let's say you run a wind farm, for example, one of the challenges is to actually sell that energy back into the grid. So there are two players. There is the wind farm management company, which manages the wind farm itself, and there's also the grid, which actually buys the energy from the wind farm itself. So what happens is that the wind farm, each day, they will produce an expected forecast, a forecast of the expected output that they want to sell to the grid. So let's say, for example, they expect that in the next 24 hours, the energy they want to produce and sell to the grid is something like, let's say, I don't know, 60 gigawatts, for example, right? If on the next day the wind is blowing well, and they can actually meet that target, very good, no problem. If they exceed that limit, if they exceed the limit, the excess above, let's say they produce 75 instead of 60, the excess 15 is actually wasted. Okay, so if the forecast is too low, they actually waste money, right? It's absorbed by the grid, but the wind farm operator or management company doesn't get paid for it. Now, if it's on the other side, in other words, they say it's 60, but they actually produce something like 55 or 50, then that shortfall, the wind farm operator is penalized. So what these wind farm operators can do is to engage the services of an energy trading company, perhaps specializing in renewables. And that is the role of you guys in the challenge. So you guys will be basically the energy trading company that helps the wind farm forecast the energy output from its farms and accurately. All right. So the way it works is like this. So if you need every day to produce a forecast for the wind farm output production for the grid, if there is if there's an excess, then your client, which is the wind farm, doesn't get any money from that excess. But if there's a shortfall, then you have got to buy credits or energy from other sources and supply it back into the grid to make up the shortfall. Okay, so you don't get paid for that, you actually pay for that kind of energy. So that's the challenge. So as time goes by, you'll find that depending on your forecast, whether it's good or bad, your client will start to accumulate some cash because of the sales of energy over time. The winner is the one whose client has the highest profits. It's as simple as that. Okay, that really sums up from the introduction to the challenge statement. Why don't we move on next to the questions that you might have on Pigeonhole? Chris, you want to read them out?
Okay. So I think just to clarify as well, this is actually based on the on the problem statement that we receive ourselves from our partner from our from our partner companies as well. So on the companies that we work with. So basically, the how energy trading works and how they are able the importance of building forecasts accurate forecast projections actually impacts not just the energy trading company only, but also the energy producer and also like the households as well, because this is where your forecasts, right, are able to actually make sure that the first one, you can make profit out of it. So that's number one. But more than that, also to make impact in terms of ensuring the stable energy supply at affordable prices to the people that lives within. So the more details of these problem sets will be shared later on, and then as long as how we evaluate your forecast as well, because there is a penalty and there is also oversupply basically. So that is an intricate balance that you have to project. You have to do as a forecasters to make sure that your forecast is very accurate. So I'll leave that up for you to plan your strategy as well, and all the best. So maybe we'll move on to the Q&A as well. Yeah. So first one is, let me just share the screen on the Q&A link. So for those of you who are not have not scanned the Pigeonhole yet, please scan so we can answer your question. So maybe just ask the one that's already there. Will the training videos give information on how to build forecasting model, or will it just teach us the general deep learning concepts?
The training videos will tell you in detail how to do the forecasting models, but it will also give you some background, the necessary background to actually do your own models, both.
Right, right, right,
So even if you're coming in cold, you'll be able to do a forecasting model, not a problem. Okay, so we get a lot of people, for example, in business or let's say in finance and so on, who have got no background in AI or in programming, and they have successfully completed the challenges in the past, right? On the other hand, if you are already an expert or if you know something about neural networks or let's say deep learning, you still should go through this course because of the videos, because it's a course really which focuses specifically on prediction, which might not be familiar to you. And of course, the advanced videos, we actually introduce a lot more techniques for forecasting, applying neural networks for forecasting specifically.
all right, all right, all right. Great. Another question as well from for SG Innovate, right? There are some questions as well on the pigeonhole. When is the application period for submission program? I think that is explained on the slides. Will you share your slides later on, SK, to our participants?
Yep, sure. It's not a problem. We can share the slides with you. But to answer the questions, the applications will start from 11 August onwards for all the students, both local and overseas students. If you are overseas students, if you are from any of the 10 countries that are eligible for the Work Holiday Pass visa, you will be eligible to participate in the program as well.
Right, 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 right. All right, thanks, SK. Like, okay, about that as well. Are the summation and innovation programs full-time in person, or can they be done virtually and by an overseas students?
Well, this is a program for people to come into Singapore and help to build out the ecosystem in Singapore. You will be required to be present in Singapore full-time and also in person. Hence, there's no overseas remote working arrangement. If you are from any of the 10 eligible countries, and should you be offered to participate in the submission program, you actually get to come into Singapore and work with the companies. For the Infinity series, it's only for Singapore-based students.
Right, right, right. Thank you, SK. Thank you, SK. Okay, a popular question come up. How is this datathon related to finance or trading? Maybe Alo, you want to answer that?
Well, the thing is this, that renewables are not effective by themselves. Renewables, like you're talking about mainly wind and solar, by themselves are not good enough. I mean, solar only works, like, for example, when the sun shines, right? When it's overcast and so on, or when at night you don't get the energy. And wind only works when the wind blows, obviously. So the missing component in all of this is really finance, because finance is the what supplies the missing part to compensate for when one goes up, one is up or one is down. What we are doing is a small step towards something like that. How do we start where we can forecast these kinds of outputs in order to actually address the shortfalls in energy supply, right? I think sometimes people have a misconception that finance is all about maybe stock market prediction, right? That's not quite true. Most of the rewards in finance, most of the work that's done in finance is to do with arbitrage. In other words, to detect differences between two price points or between supply and demand. So in this case, what we're doing is we are looking at the difference between what can be done by one energy sector, which is, let's say, the wind, for example, and another energy sector, which is where you kind of buy the energy from. So that's where it comes in.
Right, right. So maybe just to clarify as well, like, this is what's actually happening. The bulk purchase of energy is actually done on a day-to-day basis. So this is where, finance also plays a role as well in terms of, like, making sure that, like, the stream of energy, right, the energy consumption is being supplied, being transferred like each on a periodic basis, and this is where the bulk of energy traders actually coming in. So there are lots of actually like energy market public operated energy market companies, right, who actually manage these transactions. And I think your job right now is you are positioning yourself as an energy traders who are able to forecast the future, like the future like energy values very well and make some kind of trades based on that.
Yeah, can I
So
add a bit, right? So, like I said, just following up on what I said, right? So, a lot of the interesting work in forecasting is really in prediction. I know a lot of the flashier stuff is in what you see, perhaps like in image processing and so on. But where a lot of the value, unsaid value, is really in prediction. And when it comes to prediction, it's really predicting the behavior of something. It could be energy, it could be a commodity, for example, it could be something else, right? And most most times you get the best predictions when it comes to something which is driven by, let's say, an environmental variable or something else, right? By the economy, etc., right? So the kind of but finance, of course, is not just that. It's also maybe how you trade, right? When you trade, etc., right? For us to cover everything, including the trading parts of it, is too complex. So what we want to do for this Datathon is really to focus really on prediction. It's always about prediction. But the application is in finance. We will tell you about the trading algorithm model, and we want to keep it simple so that it is transparent, not too complicated. In a more realistic scenario, you wouldn't use a simple model. We use something like futures and other options, right, to actually reduce the risk. Okay, but the core part which drives that drives those decisions is really in the forecasting part, and the forecasting part itself is non-trivial. Okay, it's not easy to do. It is complex, and we will cover a lot of that stuff. All right.
Right.
And this is a realistic trading situation. We actually have got people who have explained these things to us.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is a real, almost real simulation that we learn from based on our interaction with the industry partners that we have. Okay, the next question is that what are the technologies or tools that will be used for forecasting?
Okay, so in what we do and what we teach, we want to focus on concepts which you can actually learn and apply no matter what you do, right? Okay, and we will be using one tool called neural networks, and this is a tool which it's not easy to use, but it produces some of the best. It's probably the best tool you can have for forecasting. Okay, simply put. But how to actually apply neural networks to forecasting is what we will unpack in this next few days, we hope. Okay, and you can take with you. Not everyone has the same familiarity with tools. I think that many of you, in fact, who have told us that you don't have any programming background. That's not a hindrance for us. We have a tool called AutoCAD, which we will use for the training videos, right? But you are free to use any tool that you like if you are more comfortable with the tool. It's not a tool course or tool training. It's more for you to understand the concepts of neural networks and really how to apply these things in a practical way for forecasting specifically, right? We've also tried to reduce a lot of the math because many of you also don't have the math background too. Not a problem. Okay, so the big, we've done this many times, not for this energy trading, obviously, but for in other spaces, partly to do with energy mainly, something to do with other stuff like dengue, for example, right? So it's possible if you don't have those background also to complete this Datathon.
Okay. Okay. Next question, Arnold. I come here individually. Can I finish it by myself? Okay, let me answer this. The question is, I think it's best for you to still work in groups. We will. I mean, if you are looking for group members, I will send you an email which contains also the link to for the group matchmaking. it will be you can finish it alone, but it will be a bit difficult. So I strongly recommend you to join and X groups. So
yeah, I just want to just second this, because we have done this again and again and again. And the one thing which really one data point, because we are data scientists as well. We look at the data we get from our students, right? And the one thing that really sticks out like a sore thumb is that those students who try to do this alone oftentimes lose steam. All right, so they might make it to the first week, but they don't make it to the end, because it's only fun when you start to work with others, and it's only fun when you're accountable to others as well. And so the challenge itself is actually pretty tough. It's pretty tough. Okay, so although you guys, many of you, I would say all of you, but I would say the majority of you don't have any AI background. It's okay. And we're going to make you pretty much, I would say, experts, but very good at forecasting, certainly more so than what you probably would learn in university, right? In 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, right? And where you can actually apply the stuff, right? But it only happens when you really start to work in a group, right? Because that's where in a group you can discuss, there will be a lot of bugs that you want to fix, and because it's a bigger problem, you want to do things like, split the work up, right? So maybe one person, in charge of this, one person tries that, etc., right? So you can do this by yourself if you're really determined, but we would really discourage you from trying to do that. It's always best to work in a group. Chris will post along with the email. So please don't spam filter our emails, right? And please join the Telegram. Telegram is so important because we use it all the time to communicate with you. And that's where you can post in some questions, admin, and so on, right? And really the Telegram group is the main point of contact with us as a team. So join the group, and don't spam filter the AI4Impact@gmail.com email. Chris will send out also the matchmaking group. There's a separate matchmaking group for all of you. If you are a team looking for people, go there. If you are a member and you want to look for a team, go there as well.
Yep. All right. Okay. The second one is that there are two popular questions coming up. Can we get the data sets directly as well instead of through AutoCAD? And the second one is that will the data sets be pre-processed?
Pre-processed, I'm not quite sure what that means though.
I think meaning that maybe that's not the real data set that just come up from an actual companies, because we use real data sets, right? Yeah.
Okay, so there are for the challenge itself, there are two different data sources. There's one which is from a government source. We can't reveal to you right now, but we will shortly. It's a live data source as well. It produces data, I think, every few minutes. Okay, and we will be using that as the main source for data. But additionally, we will be supplying weather data for you as well. So you can get it through AutoCAD, or you can actually go to the web and get the weather data yourself. But it's probably a lot more work for you.
Right.
But yes, you can. The answer is you can, but they basically just made it simple for you through AutoCAD, right? But it's up to you what you're gonna do.
All right. And what kind of support we get from the mentors? So I think okay, you want to answer, Arnold?
Well, of course, you will have questions. And what we try and do is we try and answer your questions as fast as we can, right? So the questions can be conceptual. We encourage a lot of conceptual questioning. The videos are really packed. One thing we notice is also that people tend to skip the videos. Don't skip. Okay, don't skip. They're very short. We purposely made it as short as possible. But that also means, so there's no unnecessary blather, right, in the videos, no unnecessary talk, but that also means you can't skip, right? So you have to really perhaps even look at the videos 2 or 3 times, I think, before you really can understand what's going on. And if you still have questions, then ask those questions on Telegram, and we'll answer those. The other kind of support you'll get is, of course, if you have trouble with your neural networks, or trying to debug them, we'll give you support there as well, or suggestions, etc. Okay, so you'll receive a lot of support. Don't worry about that.
Right. So, all right. So there's also like another question as well. Is there any prize money to justify the registration cost? I think what you can do is that what you will learn is that this is a datathon. Basically, this is a learning plus competitions. There will be like for those winners, right? We will actually feature your results actually to on our webpage and our in our corporate partners as well for them, so they know your achievements. But more importantly, this datathon is more about two things, and this is what we feel that also help the talents more in terms of getting opportunity in the future. The first one is that this datathon gives you some learning experience. Number two, will give you access to the industry data sets and industry projects. The third one is that those who have actually completed the challenge, right, we will actually features your results as well. And also you will be able to share these results on the video on through the Medium articles. Why we design this way? Because this is how our own students, right, get opportunities, career opportunities with not just with our partners like SG Innovate, also with our corporate partners, but also in other companies worldwide who are looking for data scientists. Because for them, they are not really looking for someone who learn a lot, but they are looking for someone who can solve problems. So I believe that we want to make these competitions to be as productive as possible. We also want to make sure that ensure collaboration as well. I think it's important for us to learn from one another too. So these are the concepts on how the datathon is built.
Yeah, let me just add to that, right? So we've done this many times already, and we never give out cash prizes, right? I think the first thing, a cash prize is not a good motivator. I think the real motivation for us to do this is really because you have the opportunity to shine, especially if you are in an unrelated field. Let's say you're not, let's say in AI or in com science and so on. Then this platform allows you to actually do well, right? And we have seen many of our students, and I'm saying many of our students who do well, go on to actually careers in data science and AI. It's actually opened up. So this competition is basically an opening up for you. Maybe locally, I think a lot of you are in Singapore, but I think a significant minority of you are not in Singapore. It will open up doors for you in your home countries as well. SG Innovate is not a small partner. They are actually very well established and very well known regionally here in Singapore as a VC. And I think the fact that they are interested in doing this also shows that it's actually a good enough event for you to actually put on your resume even, right? We have, I can't talk too much about the DSO stuff, can I, Karis?
Maybe not. I think we'll just keep it for that.
All right.
That's for the research fund that we have it.
Yeah. Okay. So there are some of our students who have interned in other places, and what these employers look at is that they become really interested and excited by the fact that they've actually done this a datathon with us, and that they've done something successfully as well, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, so the key takeaway is the benefit for this datathon for you personally, which is what we really want you to do, is that it opens up new avenues for you for learning, obviously, but mainly for employment and for furthering your career into AI and data science. So AI for impact, it's all about AI. And we want to make it as widely disseminated as possible.
Yeah. So even though for those of you as well who are also experts in who have already learned data science, right, and AI, right? So the outcome right now, the deep learning datathon outcome, right, it's not actually like, just only binded to AutoCAD alone. You are actually required to build real life applications. So we will actually call the URL as well, the URL link for you to publish your forecast results. And that as well, you also required to build the videos as well as a Medium article, which is very famous for data science community. Rather than like, reading it, now it's your time to shine, and then also like, publish yourself, showcase your values as well through this through that online publications, right? And deep learning datathon is just a catalyst for you, as just a means for you to actually showcase your results, right, against industry projects. So yeah, last questions, because that did post up. I think the Q&A platform session has ended. How do I intern at AI for Impact end of the year? I think we are actually we are a community. So like, if you want to look for internships, yeah, we are looking for data science talent as well personally from and then if you're looking for other internships to other companies, we can also matchmake you. I think more importantly, we are also looking for a lots of like community leaders, right, in your own countries, those who not just in Singapore, but also like other parts of the world, those who are passionate in applying AI to solve local problems that they are at. Because as much as possible, we want to reduce the gap from AI to applications and real world impact as small as possible.
Yeah,
So we
just to follow up on that a bit more. So yes, the answer is if you want to intern with us, yes, we do have internships. And yes, you can actually do it remotely as well. We do actually allow, in fact, our company has actually worked, our weather company has been doing remote working for a long time, right? So you can. So apply for something if you want to come and join us as an intern at aiforimpact@gmail.com. Okay, and then we'll walk you through the process.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's all for now, because now it's 11:10. So if you have any questions, just like, post at aiforimpact@gmail.com. You will receive the learning videos, and other instructions to log in AutoCAD, as well as this slide as well. So yeah, we'll follow up again through Telegram. See you guys on Telegram. If you have any question, please post it there. So have a safe week. Goodbye.
Goodbye, guys.